crazy thing about the Argentine experiment right now is that there's no other example of a country that is dismantling the welfare state. Nobody knows the true cost of the welfare state because we haven't not had a welfare state in a very long time. As soon as the welfare state popped up, that's when we started to get 30 to 40% income taxes. Like it's a sort of a Ponzi scheme where the government is like taking all this money and then buying political power with it, and then inflating the currency, and then and making it like, so we have an experiment now where we can see how cheap life can get if we dismantle the welfare state. And so that it could be quite cheap. Like there's been signs that some of the actions that Malay is taking are leading to deflation of things. And then you add in the AI part, and the AI part might also deflate a lot of the costs as well, like electricity did.
Because what you're saying is the government is going to step away and let the free market take reign again and see where it normalizes over time.
Well, yeah, and so think about the amount of jobs that the state of California offers. That amount of jobs, like where's that money coming from? It's coming from the taxpayers. So the taxpayer is upholding a whole bunch of jobs. Those jobs aren't exactly the most efficient jobs in the world. Argentina was the sort of the craziest place where this was happening. They had some really crazy examples of a welfare state. Their whole idea was we're going to prop up the middle class through the welfare state, and similar to what the United States is probably going to try to do very soon. In my opinion, the United States is making the same decisions that Argentina made in the 1960s and the 1970s. What happened in 2001 is just like the reaction to those decisions. We're going the same way. It's going to be, there's no political will to change it. Like it's all going to happen the same way it happened in Argentina. It's starting small right now. It's probably not even that small for most of the people it's probably pretty big. Last time I was there was a year ago. It was getting pretty expensive. And like, that's just going to continue happening because there's no political will to stop the money printing. All of this has happened in Argentina. We know exactly where it's headed. It's headed to where Argentina was now, and Argentina. That's what separates Argentina from the rest of the world, is that Argentina is the only country that knows they've hit rock bottom and is ready to make the changes necessary to stop this. And so that's like, it's the only country in the world with the political will to stop it. And so yeah, back to that exchange thing. It's like, so the government was trying to capital control. They were trying to keep the US dollars inside the system, not allow people to take their wealth and flee to banks in the United States or flee outside. And so as part of that, you couldn't go to the bank. The bank would only give you a certain amount of dollars. Argentines know this, and Argentines don't want to save in the peso because the peso is rapidly inflating. So what are they going to save in? The technologically literate made a lot of money saving in Bitcoin. Those who were too scared of that risky asset, because it's a riskier asset, started to use physical US dollars to store their wealth. So they'd make their money, and then they'd go buy from a legal black market a US dollar from them, and then come it back and stick it in their mattress. Argentina has more physical US dollars than any other country outside of the United States because of this illegal system of a black market exchange, which is totally normal. Like nobody's going to jail for this. So like, yeah, that is all changed now with Malay, because Malay has essentially, like, there still is a little bit of inflation, and it keeps on going up and going down and going up again, going down. But the wild inflation has now stopped, and things seem to be getting put in order. But it's also quite stressful. The main problem for Argentines is they have not, their salaries have not risen along with the cost of living. So they've removed all the subsidies. They've stopped inflation in its tracks, but the real price of things has increased rapidly, and the salaries have not increased to the same degree. So people are really having trouble here economically.